Good day, chaps. Forgot that I said I was going to do a tutorial on the cavalry and promptly went ahead and started them. So I thought I'd just jump in now as soon as I've only put one coat on. So these are Dutch Hussars. And I'm glad to say they haven't got the police on there. They've got a blanket roll that goes across that hides a lot of the annoying lace and stuff, so it should be a little bit easier to paint. So yeah, I'll go through all the colours I'm using. So for the jackets I've used this Vallejo blue green. I'll quickly insert a picture. So that's the colour I'm aiming for. And these guys got blue trousers, so I'm going to use Cantor blue because I want a nice dark blue. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get this on camera. When it comes to the highlights, I might be struggling to show you what I'm doing, but we shall see. So, dark blue trousers. On all of these dudes. Again, you don't have to be too neat at this stage, just avoid anywhere that you've already got the blue-green. Apart from that, don't worry too much. Hopefully I haven't got my fingers in the way too much there. But basically all we're doing now is just putting blue trousers on everyone. The main point I want to get across really with this paint tutorial is the horses. So I'll be doing 3 different colours of horses for variation. And I'll crack on with all this Cantor blue and get back to you on the next bit. Moving on to the next colour, but just briefly, I went back to the colour plate and noticed that these rolls on the back are the same colour as the jacket, so I've gone back in and done that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the London Grey on the blanket roll thing, and just on the front there, the blanket that goes under the hoss. Oh, look at that. Right. So again, you don't have to be too neat in certain areas, but obviously anywhere that you've got the blue, you want to make sure you're neat up until that point. And again on the, let's get some more paint. On the blanket rolls, just make sure you're quite neat along there so you don't go over that blue-green. And I'll crack on. Right, that's all them bits done. I'm now going to paint all the saddle cloths, and these are all red. And I'm feeling this might take a couple of coats. Also, I've made some errors here when I glued these all together. There's a little bit here that I probably should have chopped off, but it's too late now. So what I'll do is I'll paint that the horse colour, and hopefully it'll blend in, or I might just leave it red. We'll see. Let's go to the next one. So yeah, just all saddle cloths red. They're going to have a gold trim. I'm going to get in there. I got away with that. So yeah, might need a couple of coats of this red. So I'll crack on and paint all of them. Next up, I can't remember where I was in the discussion, if I was talking about anything, because I've had a bit of a break. But next up is these little bits. Just on the top of the saddle cloth here, and they're going to be bleach bone because I want them to be a warm white. So again, just trying to avoid any areas that you've already painted. Oh, like that, like I've just done there. Damn it. Oh well, that'll be fine, because we'll cover that later. Both sides. Yeah, one thing I want to point out is, you notice I've painted all over the cross belts and things, and that's because we'll do that when we get to the highlighting stage. So I'm going to crack on and do all 12 of them. Okay, so I'm going to start painting the horses now. There are some other bits and pieces I still need to do on the riders, but I'll get around to them. I just fancy painting some larger areas. So these are 3 colours I'm using: flat brown, flat earth, German camo, orange ochre. There are 12 figures, so I'm going to divide them into groups for 4 of each colour. We're going to start with the German camo orange ochre. I'm not going to show you applying the other colours as well, but I'll put this one on. So, everywhere. We're going to paint in the reins and that afterwards, so you don't have to be too neat. It's just a case of base coating the whole thing. Oh, hang on. Look at that. I missed that on all of them. Right, I need to find my snips, but I need to snip off that bit. I'll get around to that. We're okay at the minute. So yeah, just get up in there underneath the saddle. Make sure you turn the figure upside down, so you're not going to be able to see that. But so you can get under the belly and all that. I don't know. I'm struggling to get this on camera. But basically under there. Under his feet. You know, all the awkward areas. On the back by the saddle here, if we just push under there, so it just gets deep inside. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just crack on and do these 4. I'll do the others as well, because you get the whole general idea. I'm going to paint the hoofs same colour at the minute, but I generally don't bother too much about them, because they tend to get covered by your basing material. If there's any I think are going to stick out, I'll probably do them either a dark brown or a black. Right, I'll crack on. All the horses painted, so what we're going to do now is on the rider and the horse, need a better brush, but we're going to paint the hat all over. I'll get a better brush so I don't get the pom-pom next time. The hat, the ammo pouch thing there that I can barely see. Oh, I definitely need a better brush. Okay, so I'm not going to risk that. And all the tack, the reins and everything, all with this black grey. Now we want to get this quite neat, because this isn't going to get a highlight, the black grey. I'm just going to paint that on, and then when I paint over the top with the wash, that'll give me the deep tone and the highlight, because you don't want to go over highlight black. I mean, you can do if that's the look you like, but I prefer it to look quite dark, so I'm going to make sure I don't go over too much. I don't have to re-highlight it. So I'll crack on and do all of them. So just to give you a quick update, there are quite a few bits of black. So there's that, there's all the reins. I've just seen I need to get under there a bit. The boots, really sorry, it's getting quite dark, so I might have to stop painting anyway. All the reins around the face. Don't forget the reins in his hands. The little bits of strapping across there. Boots around the back of the tail. So yeah, I've also painted these bits on his hat here, because they're going to be gold on both sides, because as I say, the gold will go over that dark black grey better than it will the light grey. Okay, it is messy, as you can see. Don't worry, because the ink's going to hide most of that for us. All the reins and everything painted now, so what we're going to do, move on to now, is we're going to do the tails and the mane. And then what we're going to do is we'll paint these 5 with skeleton bone, and I'm going to paint all the rest the black grey. So let us begin. Excuse the hand in the way of the camera. Try and get this on here as best as I can without getting my fingers in the way. So all the tails. Looks like it might need a couple of coats, but that's okay. All the tails and the manes. Is that blurred? Okay, so this is, remember, I'm not a professional painter, so this is just a free little guide for anybody that wants some hints and tips. So we'll see how we get on, eh? So I'm going to paint all of these now. Again, we're still really on the base coat in here, so I'm going to paint all the rest of these guys up. And I'll get back to you. All the tails and males done. Tails and males. Tails and manes done. So now I'm going to put the flesh on the faces. They're going to end up with white gloves, so I'm not going to do them. And then I think I'm on to the metallics. So not far off, ready for the final touches. So let's see if I can paint this on camera. So just catching the faces. I've got moustaches. Just paint over them for now. We'll sort them out after. You may have noticed there are 12 troopers here. And obviously they need an officer and a trumpeter. The officer's going to have a black horse. The trumpeter will have a white-grey horse. But I'm still waiting for them to turn up. So while I'm waiting, I thought I'd get everybody else done and ready. Why not, eh? So I'll crack on with the rest of the faces. All the faces done. I'm down to the metallics now, so I'm not going to do this on camera, but I'm going to paint that scabbard silver, handle gold, again there. They have got this thing here around the waist is red and white, but I don't think I'm going to attempt to do. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that, but I'll let you know. And then you can't really see the braiding on that guy. Can you see him on this one? There is braiding inside here. From the picture it looks gold to me, so I'm going to pop some gold on there, and I'll show you after. I'll try and do it on camera, but if it's not working out, I'll show you afterwards. Oh, look at that, just found something I've missed. So there's a carbine, and again I won't bore you with details. I'm going to paint the stock wood. They were generally in a leather case, so I'm going to paint that a bit leather brown. And I'll get back to you when I'm about ready to put the ink on. Hi chaps. So it's going to appear as if I've missed out a whole load of painting here, because I've actually painted up the entire ride here now. I did record some of it, but it was all out of focus and really bad. You couldn't see what I was doing. So I do apologise, but at the end of the day, this was more to show you how to get on with the horses rather than the actual riders. So, without further ado, oh yeah, one other thing. That bit is supposed to be there, but I did chop it off some of the other ones, annoyingly. So, yeah, some of them got them, some of them too late to do anything about it now. Right. So what we're going to do on the tail is we're just going to drag the edge of the brush over this bleach bone area, just just to give it some of the tips a bit of a highlight. Like that. I could do this on all the mains and everything. So we're just going to dab it along there and just pick out some edges. And there. Spin it round. So this side we've got the same. I'm just going to drag brush along. Just get a highlight on them bits. Load up with a little bit more paint. And do the tails. Again, same as before, just drag it along. So it sticks to the raised areas like that. So I'm happy with that. If you wanted to, you could put a bit of off-white on there as well to make it even lighter, but I'm quite happy with that. And the black tails, I'm not going to do anything with them. They're just going to stay as they are. Because as I say, with the strong tone wash over the black grey, I think that looks great anyway, so I don't think it needs any more on that. Right. Let me crack on and do all these. So on to the horses themselves now. So this one is 4 horses that are flat brown. So the first thing we're going to do is we're basically going to go over all the areas in this dark colour again, just leaving some of the details of the darker colour underneath showing. So we're covering almost everything, but not, not entirely, so to speak. Just follow the sculpts of the muscle definition. And that's all we're aiming to do here, is just to get a coat of this on. That's it. Just follow all these muscle lines. Ears. Head. That's basically it. Don't forget to do the undersides as well. I hope it's coming out right. My fingers in front have got all the way. Like that. And then do both sides, and then we'll come back to you when I've done these 4 and we'll go on to the highlight. So what we're going to do now is just move on to a highlight of these. I'm going to use Flat Earth, which is the same base colour as for the next 4. And all we're going to do here is just pick out little bits of the raised muscle area. It will dry even more subtle than this. Just picking out little areas, just to give it a little bit more depth. So we'll pick out, the knees on the horses, the muscle lines coming down. Big one there, look. And here, down here. We'll just run a line around there. Another one coming around there. So that kind of thing. I'll crack on with all of these, and at the same time, while I've got the flat brown out, I'm going to start layering up the flat brown horses the same way as I did these. I've done the flat brown base coats on these. I've decided they actually look okay like that, so I'm not going to put another highlight on these. What I am going to do is paint all these pom-poms flat brown now, because they are going to be gold, and then if I paint them brown now, it will give you all the gold will look nice on top of that, is what I'm trying to say. So after that, I'll do that, and I'll come back to you when I start doing these lighter bay horses. So pretty much the same as the others, using German camo orange ochre again. And we're just going to go over all the same areas again, just leaving some of the darker recesses. And we're just going to carefully go around, hopefully, it says. Top of the eye. Muzzle there. Tiny bit in there. Oops. We're just going to follow these muscle tones and contours. Just follow that around. To the front. It's all sculpted on, so it's quite straightforward. You just follow all these lines really. You just leave in little gaps. Okay, I don't like that circle, so cover that. Don't forget the other leg. And basically, we're just going to work all the way around the horse now. Go on, I'll show you a little bit more. Since I forgot to show you the riders. So just following that line there. It's a nice little point there. Just basically following the muscle tones and leaving little light dark patches in the original colour. That's pretty much it really. Okay, I'll crack on. Okay, so the next bit is optional. I decided I just wanted to give these German camo orange ochre a bit of a lift. You don't really have to do this. They look fine as they are. But I'm just going to put a little bit of yellow ochre just on some of the raised areas, just to give it a tiny bit more depth. So you don't really have to do this, but I just wanted to just give it a little bit more. So just on all the raised areas like that. So as you can see, when that dries, it's really quite subtle. You can't see it that well. And remember, we are going for the massed cavalry rank effect. So when they're all united up, they will look cool. Now, I'm going to start doing the socks and muzzles and whatnot. For this, I'm going to be using, start off with black grey, skeleton bone, and light grey, because I want some warm white and some cold white socks and things. And this is just a case of putting them where you think they'd look good. There are plenty of pictures of horses online that you can study for reference, if you want them, you know, to be 100% accurate. I'm no horse expert, so no doubt somebody will tell me if I do something wrong, but you know, at the end of the day, they're toy soldiers. So let's not get too carried away, people. As long as it doesn't look, you know, ridiculous. I'll leave his muzzle, I think. So yeah, he's just gonna have two. I'll paint his hoof as well. Automatic, why not? He's just gonna have two grey socks like that. So these grey ones, all I'm gonna do after is put a little bit of ink over them, and that'll be them done. But some of them, like, let's go with this one for argument's sake. In fact, let's do it on one of the brown horses. So this guy, I'm going to give him dark grey, like this, and then up to his knees. And then once that's dry, I will then give him actual white little socks at the bottom, which you've got like a black and white combo, and he can have the muzzle as well, why not? Right, I'm going to crack on and do the rest of these. I'll get back to you just before I start putting the white on. Okay, so I've got all the grey and stuff on now, and this is the part I quite look forward to on the horses, because I think this really does give them a lift and bring them to life a little bit. So what we're going to do now is just highlight all these grey areas with off-white, and this really does, I think, bring the horses to life, just doing this last little stage like this. And when they're all on the bases, it really does give them a lift and make them, you know, not look quite so uniform, if you like. Gives each horse a little bit of individuality. So I've got some different ones here, so I've probably gone a bit high with the stockings on this guy. So it might not be, you know, totally accurate, but I know some people like to make sure the horses are a lot more realistic, and hats off to them people, but I'm not overly concerned. At the end of the day, for me, the hobby for me is a game of toy soldiers, paint some troops up and get them onto a table, and that's kind of my goal. I do try and keep it obviously as realistic as possible, but you know, if I make little mistakes like this with the horses, I'm not overly concerned. It's close enough for me. It's close enough for my hobby, if you know what I mean. And that's a great thing about this hobby, isn't it? We all have our own ideas and standards of what we want to do. So that's cold white. I'm not quite finished in, but I thought I'd quickly move along and show you one of the warm white horses. So it's exactly the same theory. It's just I've used a bleach bone on this instead of a grey. And I've painted up here as well, so his muzzle's going to be nice and white. Oops. A little bit in there. Excuse me. So you get a general idea. I'm going to crack on and do the rest of them. Next time I'll get you what is when I'm going to glue them to bases, because after this there's only a couple of bits of metallic to do. So yeah, I'll get back to you when they're all done. So here is the completed guys all glued to the bases. You will notice there is a gap. As mentioned before, that's for the officer and the trumpeter. Took a bit of artistic license, I suppose, by giving them so many different coloured horses for these lights. My heavy cavalry all got darker horses, but I haven't completely finished the bases, obviously, because I'm going to do a basing video, show how I base these guys up. I'll just spin them around, and the instant spin them around, I notice I haven't done the straps on all these bits. So I'll get on and do that, but I can get to them, so that's not a problem. So that is them, and that's how I paint these horses up. And yeah, just add in all the different bits of socks and you know, nozzles and muzzles, different bits and pieces. It just gives you a nice overall look, I think. So when the commanders arrive, that's what a squadron will look, something like that. And I can always, I've got a couple of spare guys, I can always expand, make it a little bit bigger. Anyway, if you stayed with me this long, well done indeed. We are now finally at the end. I will take a couple of stills. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this was useful to someone. Watch all your stuff, keep up the good work, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.